my journey in entrepreneurship began somewhere around 2019 when I was a professor teaching in a college. At the beginning, we started just as a GIS company without knowing much how we would progress. I set out to become successful one way or the other. So my plan A was also to be successful, and plan B was also to be successful. Passion can get you started, but it cannot ensure your success. Trust in your team and expect that they might take a little bit of time, but once that is overcome, it's only upwards.
Welcome to the Profit 365 podcast, where we decode the real business success stories and gives you the tools to build 2x, 10x profitable business that works without you. I'm your host, Dr. Sameer Kuncoliekar, founder of a Profit 365, India's premium business coaching platform that dedicated to the transforming business owners' lives and their business into next level, that is the industry titans. And today, we have a special guest, an absolute game changer. Joining us is a Malcolm AFONSO, the visionary founder and the CEO of a Special Craft, a company that's revolutionizing the real estate, tourism, and even the public infrastructure through the smart interactive digital mapping. From Goa towards the global clients like the World Bank, Malcolm has built a scalable, a system-driven business, and big part of that journey was accelerated through his working with us, Profit 365 coaching company. Today, we are going to unpack the mindset, methods, and the magic behind his success. So, Malcolm, let's start at the beginning, and I welcome you to today's podcast.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. Malcolm, tell us the story behind a Special Craft and how did your journey as an entrepreneur begin?
Well, my journey in entrepreneurship began somewhere around 2019 when I was a professor teaching in a college, and I was approached by some villagers to map their village assets for plans which they had to send to the government. And it turned out that I set out to map just one village, but ended up mapping more than 69 villages.
Wow.
And it led to great impact in the governance or in the law. And that made me realize that the skills that I have a very wider implication and gave me the confidence to try more. And in 2022, I set out to start my own company, Special Craft.
Great. That's inspiring. Malcolm, what inspired you to enter the world of smart interactive digital mapping? And how did you spot this niche?
Well, at the beginning, we started just as a GIS company without knowing much how we would progress. But as we interacted with our clients, especially from the real estate, we realized some key gaps in the industry. That is, they were having limitations in data or knowledge about the site that they were developing. And that's when I realized that I could serve my maps as a tool for them that will help them in their decision making and solve their concerns. And I set out to do it by experimenting, and it turned out that my initial feeling was right, and it turned out to be very beneficial for them. And that's how I discovered this niche.
Great, great. Because most of the people who want to start a business, finding a right niche is a problem for them. But great that you have identified it in a bigger way. Great. Now, entrepreneurs often face a moment of a doubt. Can you recall a defining moment when you almost gave up and how you overcome it?
I would say that I did not face anything like that because when I set out, I set out to become successful one way or the other. So my plan A was also to be successful, and plan B was also to be successful. So I didn't really have a plan B, and I still do not have a plan B.
Awesome.
My
Awesome.
plan is to be successful.
Great. Now let's talk about the transformation. You have been associated with the Profit 365 coaching, and how especially has a Profit 365 accelerator framework has helped you to shift from founder dependent business to a self operating business model.
Absolutely. So, just a little bit of background. Coming from an academic environment, we are mostly driven by passion. And soon, coming into business, I realized that, passion can get you started, but it cannot ensure your success. And success can come from doing very subtle things, like intangible, subtle things that can define your success. So ever since I started with Profit 365, I have had a very enriching experience. First, transforming my mindset, that is, how I think, and further to put in place systems that can help my business scale to the next level. So I think the journey has been transformative from a personal standpoint, where I acquired the right mindset, that's thinking right in the right way about my business, and then to scale this business, the set of techniques and skills that are required to ensure that the team is right, the process is right, and it is scalable. So this transformation has been brought about by Profit 365.
Great. Now, Special Craft has transformed the traditional businesses through the innovative mapping. Could you explain in a simple terms what makes your product so unique and impactful?
Absolutely. So I'll just give you a bit of technical background. So for years, the developers and architects have been dependent on single input for their planning, that is the surveyor's plan. Now imagine if you start with an input which itself is wrong. Say a surveyor cut a corner or didn't find a point. There is no way that you can know unless you personally go on site and precisely do that work again. So we introduce another layer of data validation by having a high resolution map, okay, as a base on which we superimpose the surveyor's plan. You get accurate data validation. And as they say, data is gold. We make your plan right from the beginning itself so that they will not encounter difficulties or problems or mistake when it's too late. So we avoid mistakes for our clients at the beginning itself. And once we have done our job, there is no way they're going to go back to their old ways. And that's been very transformative for our clients. And we have been getting consistent repeat business from them.
Great. So basically, the real estate is the most expensive asset, and if you don't have the proper diagram, proper data, then it will affect the business. Am I right? But you are able to do with the digital map, giving them the accuracy of a data so that they can use it and also put their business, which is in a physical state, towards online, right? Digitalizing it. Am I right? So can you share more about it?
So I'll tell you a story of my client who was trying to have a meeting with his investor partners who are based in Mumbai. And this was going back and forth for more than 6 months. And he was not able to deliver anything to them because the terrain was very challenging. There was vegetation. So, so I met this client and I told them, I can do something for you, which will, make this, give you the clarity and help you. And he just trusted me, and we delivered the data. Within 15 days, he got the meeting set up. And today, the site is still not clean, but the project has already advanced in the discussions, and they are about to start with the project. So planning has already advanced. So from more than 6 months to 15 days, and with the clarity and confidence that our data delivers, he was able to get the job done. So this is one transformation. I would also like to mention another story where a client was trying to sell real estate, and his investors were based in Delhi. Now, with our data, he has set up channel partners in Delhi who can just pitch the properties to their clients or investors with complete detail, winning their trust. Instead of those investors coming to Goa and then traveling to remote location, my client travels to Delhi and signs several deals in one go. So it has transformed his business digitally.
Great. So what you are saying is that any property, it may be anywhere, but you can digitalize it so that the property can be sold to the anywhere in the world, right? So that it saves like today we have a concept earlier it was e-commerce, now it's a quick commerce. Same way, now you are transforming the real estate into the quick, right? Quick, they can sell it. Quick real estate business.
Ab- Absolutely, absolutely. And also, not just simply quick. Quick requires a lot of other things. Like, for example, the credibility that this property is real. It's developed. The roads are there. Here, the data empowers the decision makers as well, that they are investing in the right asset, knowing fully what it comes with. And that's something which, even if they had to come on site, they would not be able to do it, because the sites are pretty big, and they cannot spot everything during the site visit. But with our tool, they can just do everything in minutest to the minutest of the detail.
Great. So what I understand is that what you are providing is not just a piece of paper or a piece of some online thing, but you are giving the actual photo where they can experience and see exactly what is existing at that place. Am I right? That is if I'm not wrong.
Yes, sir. I'd just like to add one more thing. It's not a photo, it's beyond visuals, because you can measure and analyze. That is a big difference between myself and aerial photographers. So the distinction is, they give photo and I give a map. Map means you can measure and analyze.
Great, great. So further, more detailing required can be also done. It is not that one time you shoot it and over, but deep they can go also. It's great, great.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they can also integrate other data, like, for example, identifying discrepancies between the physically surveyed boundaries and the government surveyed boundaries. They can also analyze the zoning, all integrated in a single platform. No need to look at multiple papers showing different data. Here we make it just one URL, all questions answered. That's the transformation we bring.
Perfect. That's great. That's great. Malcolm, can you share one of your most memorable client success stories that clearly demonstrate how special craft technology boosted their profitability and their customer experience?
Absolutely, absolutely. So one of the things which I've noticed is, the plotted developers, especially when they sell these plots, right? Oftentimes there are errors in when they demarcate these plots on the ground. Okay, like the roads are misaligned. By identifying these mistakes early on, we save them the cost of having to realign these plots. Secondly, when there are too many plots to sell, like more than 250 in one site, it becomes difficult for them to explain which plot, how it is located in that whole thing. So by doing the digital map, our clients are able to showcase and attract customers very quickly. And as I was mentioning about one of my client, who, instead of the investors coming down, he is going to the investors location and signing many deals in one go, instead of one coming down. So that has been very transformative, and yeah, and it has led to profitability, and we are doing all their sites now.
Great, great. Let's explore your growth engine. What specific strategies help you to attract the major clients like World Bank, GEL, Sun 360, and Escala Reality?
Well, to say the least, we didn't set out to find them, we just happened to find them. So, like, for example, I met one client at a exhibition, in a stall, and I just said, I can do something better than this. I can give you much more clarity and enhance this process. Said, let me set up a meeting with my boss, and that's how I ended up meeting Escala Realty. You know, and we set out with the intention of helping or finding a solution. We didn't set out saying that, we have something that will add value. We actually genuinely were interested in solving the client problem, and we delivered. I think that's been the success, reason for our success, that, we were genuinely interested in knowing the client problem and then solving it and delivering on our word. And that has led to many repeat business for us.
Great, great. How do you approach innovation to stay ahead of a competition? And what role does continuous improvement play at a special craft?
Absolutely. Continuous learning is absolutely a must. So earlier we used to, play around with technology a lot and then try to see, where we can use this. But of late, we have just turned this whole process around. Now we are keeping an eye for the problems in the community or problems with the clients. So we keep a very keen eye and then try to see what kind of technology we can integrate to help solve this problem. Because as you see, technology is vast, but knowing and being able to integrate the right technology to solve the problem, that is what is most important at Special Craft. And with time, we have been integrating newer technologies that help us to deliver more value to our clients. So we only focus on those technologies that can solve the specific problem that we have heard from our client. So this requires engaging with the clients at a deeper level, being with them, talking to them and understanding their real needs and then finding the technology. So this is very important and we continuously integrate newer technologies, newer tools and also collaborations in our service delivery.
Great. So what you are trying to tell me is basically that you have built your company, which is a customer first principles, right? So you see that your
Yes.
customer, what is the major burning problem they are facing it, and then you are working on it with whatever the technology available to provide a solution. So it is not that what you have that you are offering, but you are understanding what your client, and great. That is a great to see, because many entrepreneurs make this mistake is that they try to sell what they have rather than understanding the problem, and then they say customer is not returning back. Because if you want to grow a highly profitable business, repeat business is must. And what I can see from your business, that you have continuous repeat business. That's great, because you have to spend zero amount in the marketing to get a real business, and that is a real profit you gain. Great to see, Malcolm, you are a customer centric company. Great.
Absolutely. Another thing I would like to add is for the benefit of the audience, when we met the client, they had no clue as to what we would deliver. We only shown genuine interest in solving their problem and said we would solve it. I worked on it and delivered. And when we delivered, they realized what value really we add. To this day, I still find many people who have no clue when I say, we do digital mapping or drone mapping. The perception is we are into some photography and videography. But
Great.
that completely changes once we get an opportunity to either show them on our laptop or we deliver the project. So we did not try to copy anybody or do something that is just done or client already was expecting. We created our own niche. That's what I want to say.
Great, great, Malcolm. Malcolm, here is a question for you. Can you highlight one critical area, be it a strategy, system, or a team management, where Profit 365 coach significantly impacted your profitability and the scalability?
Absolutely, absolutely. So first and foremost, just coming from an academic mindset, I had some mental blocks which were preventing me from becoming profitable. For instance, I was having difficulty in recovering my dues timely and just understanding how to think right about recovering the money on time, which I learned from Dr. Sameer, which I learned from you. You know, why it is important. It made me to think right about the recovery. And now instead of going after my client, most of the times I have advances and then we head over to deliver the project. So this has been very transformative. Secondly, I used to think that I can do the things better, and the whole emphasis would be on delivering by myself. And again, I realized that it would create constraint for me to scale because there is only limited amount of work that can be done by a single individual. And I started to believe in building a team. Now that we have a team and we are able to think of bigger projects and acquire bigger clients. And also, we have been very bold in making investments where it is needed in terms of integrating technology. So all this bold decision making and thinking beyond our commonly accepted perceptions, or this has been very transformative. And again, as I say, these are the subtle things, which have led to our success.
Great, great, great. Malcolm, how have you implemented system and automation to scale a special craft sustainably? Because when we any entrepreneur build a business, if he is not putting a systems, he is not having a automation, the scalability is the issue, and then they struggle. अरे होता नहीं है, and then they avoid doing the marketing, getting new client because they cannot satisfy their clients. But how you made that possible? So today you have built your capacity and you can scale your business to the any level and provide the best service. How that is have you made possible?
Yeah. So we are still making things possible, but I think we have come a long way in terms of automation. So, for example, earlier we used to do everything manually. Now we have put in a system wherein our backend process, at least a large part of it, can be by systematically mapping the steps we automate it. So that's with the process. But what really started is to think that automation is very important, and that got us started. So we now have a backend process which is largely automated. We also have implemented CRM tools which manage our clients, and then also we have understood the reasoning behind having pipelines and funnels. So we have begin to implement these things. So we have mapped the entire process right from generating a lead, then quote, proposals, invoicing, everything to the feedback. And we are all systematically improvising on each step in our business process. So we started with the thinking, and now I'm sure we have still more way to go, but it's been very transformative as of now.
Great, great. Now, from your experience, what's the biggest mistake business owner make when they trying to scale their operations?
I think the biggest mistake that they make is, they try to do by themselves, everything by themselves, and also thinking that they can do the work very best. This is one of the mistakes, and not being able to trust their teammates, the employees. I think what I have also witnessed is it might initially look like you are taking a step back, but once the motion is set, once the ball is set rolling, it will only become like a bigger and bigger. And that's what I've witnessed here. Trust in your team and expect that they might take a little bit of time, but once that is overcome, it's only upwards.
Great. What key lesson have you learned about maximizing profitability that you wish you knew it earlier?
Absolutely. So, when I set out with my business, I used to think that getting the project was very important, and it was very important to quote less. Then I realized it is very important to make a profitable proposal. This was not coming to me naturally. So now my proposals are tuned in such a way that it's a win-win. Not just that I get business, but I ensure that those proposals become profitable, not simply by quoting low, but adding great value to my clients. And that has also allowed us to reinvest the profits in integrating better services and better tools for our clients. So yes, I think that has been one of the key lessons, and I can share a story about one such investment we did. That was, we brought a new drone, and without thinking, from some, we started getting bigger projects. Earlier we were doing plots. Now we are like mapping the entire mountains. And
Great.
so suddenly we saw the scale of our project increase many folds. So that's been one of the things. Ensure your proposals are profitable and reinvest that profit to integrate better services and better tools in your business. Yeah.
Great, great, fantastic. How do you consistently deliver exceptional value to your clients while also maintaining the profitability and the growth?
Well, I would say I am always genuinely interested in solving the client's problem and I deliver on my word. So this is the key which has ensured that we exceed the client expectation and that ensures that we get repeat business from them. So we don't have to reinvest more money in acquiring new clients. So this has been very good for my business.
Great. Behind every great business is a strong team and a leadership mindset. How do you transition from being involved in every detail to empowering your team? And what lesson can you share for the entrepreneurs aiming for that shift?
Absolutely. I think first it starts with thinking right, knowing fully, not making yourself the center of your business. Once you realize that, then you can operate from a place where you have a bigger perspective, a larger vision. So having this mindset allowed me to think and to take bold decisions. Like for example, the hire that was pending, when I see the larger vision and what we are setting out to achieve in the next 10 years, it becomes very imperative and the decision becomes very straightforward. Your vision is this big. You can't be thinking small about money and expenses. So that has been a very transformative. The thinking starts with the thinking and then actually acting on it, taking that decision to hire, to put the money. I see many times entrepreneurs think, I'm going to spend like $1,000, but what they fail to think is by spending $1,000, I'm going to make 1 lakh. So that is what hinders most entrepreneurs. You're afraid to lose, and you're not thinking you are setting out to gain so much. So I think now those kind of decisions don't stop me. I don't think like I have to spend. If I have to spend to make more, why not go for it?
Great. So basically, what you are able to differentiate what is the spending and what is a real investment. Because knowing that when you invest, only the money will come. Because if you have the mindset that we are spending, we may not expect anything come from it. But when we have a mindset and we know exactly where to invest, okay, that is to increase the capacity, you can expect the returns. I think you are able to crack that code. Correct?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Many entrepreneurs struggle to move from an operational role to the strategic leadership, and which is a must in today's competitive world. How did the Profit 365 coaching and its framework has helped you to achieve that shift?
Absolutely. So let me share my journey with the Proper 365. So we started with personal success mastery, wherein we focused on very specific personal skills, right from inculcating good habits, simple things like maintaining a diary, how it is to be structured, how to enter things in your diary, how to manage our thoughts. So these things, though very subtle, have a very profound impact on the productivity that you have on a day-to-day basis. So we mastered the personal mastery skills, and then we focused on building the business mindset. So, wherein we looked at why it is essential to be profitable, why it is important to have people, why it is important to be automating your business. So, this has really helped me with scaling up my business. Yes,
Great. Fantastic to see that you have mastered your inner world, and which is the most important because when there is a clarity inside, doing things outside is much easier. If there's no clarity inside, if you're clogged with so many thoughts and you don't know what to do and how to process that thought, and that is exactly what we do when any entrepreneur sign up with us. We work on their personal mastery to become that successful person internally because doing business from inside out is much easier because many people struggle but after achieving success also they are empty inside. Let's talk about the future. Where do you see the future of a digital mapping technology heading and how Special Craft is preparing to stay ahead in these trends?
absolutely. I think geospatial technology is still in its infancy, though we see geospatial tech penetrating every sector. Talk about drones, they are already in agriculture, they are already in land use management, they are already in governance, they are already in tourism, they are already in rescue, logistics. So I see a very rapid expansion and integration of geospatial technology, which not only includes drones but also satellites and physical surveying with GPS. I see that this technology has a great role to play in shaping our decisions for planners, for administrators, and also for real estate. So I'm anticipating a lot of tech integration across industrial sectors. Now, talking about special craft, we are our cream of clients are the real estate developers, okay, at the moment. But we have already started working in other sectors which are soon going to become new verticals of our company. For example, the solar industry, where our clients would take days to take measurements of the surface of the roofs manually, tediously, and yet they would not have the clarity in their design process. We have made this process complete in under 5 minutes on site, and we give unmatched clarity to the client when we deliver the outputs on which they can then design the rooftop solar panel installation. So we have literally transformed, giving a massive competitive edge to the solar panel installation companies. This is just one of the vertical. We are also actively working with environmental consultants. We are also working with the governments and helping them to integrate this technology for better governance. So I think spacecraft is going to advance in diverse sector, but for the time being, we focus on the real estate sector, where because we when we deliver our work, the clients are extremely satisfied and very happy, and we can then reinvest that into building other verticals. So yes.
Great. So what I can understand from way you told me is that future this technology can be used by the landlords also to check not only their area but how many trees are there and what type of trees are in their property. What are the structure already constructed? How they, if they are into the construction, how much they have constructed now. So you will can do the whatever data, so rather than using only for commercial, I think for the other clients also it will be beneficial, right? And that is a people can afford it because today everyone is depend on what you call physical survey. But if they know that they can use this technology and do it faster, better with the accuracy, of course they can get into it. And I feel that time has come that you need to build your capacity to reach to those people and serve those people, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we are getting there right now. Also, we are always on our toes, delivering projects to our clients, and we are rapidly expanding our technical know-how as well to be able to deliver more value to our clients. So yes, and our clients also are coming up with new use cases for our services. So absolutely, from what we were delivering now coming to more use cases. So it's kind of self-fueling right now, and I think yeah, the prospects look great for us in the real estate sector at the moment.
Great, great. Malcolm, what opportunity do you believe entrepreneurs should focus now, especially with the rapid advancement in the digital tech, your digital mapping and AI?
So I think the advancement of technology has thrown open the field for everybody, who is willing to first invest their time to master this technology. you know so like just when we started, people were not talking. When I started personally learning about jazz and remote sensing, it was not taught in school. It was just out of curiosity, and we kept hopelessly learning without having any aim. And in just like that we got the mastery of this technology, and today when we hear, see anything, any problem, we can immediately link our skill to the solution that we can offer. So I think today's technology, for example, AI, even it integrates in our with our technology as well, and also with so many other sectors. I think entrepreneurs should take time to evaluate and understand this technology, and then look at the problems in their sector or domain, which they like to work in. Because without passion, you can't really get too far. So they should look at what they are very passionate about, look at the technology, and then see the problems that they can solve. I think, yes, start with learning.
Great, great. How do you continually adapt and reinvent your business model to stay relevant in a fast changing market?
Absolutely. As I mentioned before, earlier we used to look at what we have and try and see where we can find a solution. Now we are keeping our eyes and ears open to what our customers are saying, crying about the problems. We carefully note down these problems and then we work backwards and to identify tech that can be integrated to solve these problems. And that has been our approach, and we have continuously integrated new technology which is relevant to solve the particular problem. So we have made forays into virtual reality as well, knowing fully well that investors need a very good presentation. They need to feel like they are on site. So we integrated virtual reality in our application. So this is
Great.
just one thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Please continue. You're saying something.
Yeah, absolutely. So I said this is just one of the things that we have integrated after starting, with our main core offering. So by working more with the clients, keeping your eyes and ears open to listen to their problems, you can keep integrating new technology. The thing is, technology is there. The solution already exists, but what you want to solve, that you need to know.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Now, I want to, out of the box, I wanted to ask a question. Now, many founders try to do the lot of things and they experiment a lot of things with their own. But how does somebody, any founder having a coach to his side can make a difference in his life and his business?
Absolutely. So, as was the case with right, with me, I would say, being a solopreneur, we have to believe in ourselves. But sometimes what happens is, we tend to believe in everything from our perspective. But when a coach comes into the picture, what he brings is a good coach, a good mentor will bring in another perspective, which we may have overlooked or may not be aware of, and he makes us aware of those things which can lead to a massive value for us, or also or as well as spot things which have been draining. So this is the value that the coach can bring, though these things may seem subtle, but they can be the deciding factor in the success and failure of an entrepreneur.
Great, great. Before we wrap up, let's distill all this into the pure gold for our listener. Malcolm, if you could offer only the three critical pieces of advice to the entrepreneurs who aspire to build ultra profitable businesses, what would be those three things?
As I mentioned, I would say be genuinely interested in your client, in solving the problem. Stick to your word. When you say you're going to solve something, stick to it, and continuously keep learning new things that you can integrate. I think these are some of the keys. And if you want to scale to a bigger level, focus on automation. That is very important.
Great. Finally, what's one actionable step listeners should take immediately after hearing this podcast to start transforming their own business?
I think everything starts with a desire. So I would suggest the listeners who are viewing this podcast, you can start by simply taking a pencil and a paper and write what you will be in 2035. When you have a very clear vision, you can then start aligning yourself with achieving that vision. This is one simple step which can get them started.
Great, great. Because many people have a dream, but they don't write it and never achieve it. But if you write it, the journey starts. So great. Welcome. This has been absolutely eye-opening. Your journey from a bold idea in Goa to be the global solution used by the world's biggest organization proves that with the right system, mindset, and the mentorship, anything is possible. And for our listener, if the Malcolm's transformation has inspired you, and you are ready to build your own ultra profitable self-operating business, head to profit365coach.com and book your free strategy session today. If you want to get connected to the Malcolm, do connect to the number which is given on the screen, so that any questions you have and you need a solution to take your business to the next level, definitely you can connect him and get a right advice and take your business to the next level. This is a Dr. Sameer Kuncoliekar signing off. Welcome. I will like to, from a team of a Profit 365 and a listener, I will like to thank you for sharing your valuable advice, strategies, what you have done, and wishing you all the best in the future to be a global player. So this is Dr. Sameer Kuncoliekar signing off. Don't forget to subscribe, review, and share your episode with every entrepreneur you know. Until next time, build bold, lead with the system, and think profit first. Here's the Dr. Sameer Kuncoliekar signing off. Bye.